Well, Morgan, time for a little history lesson. September 30th, 2009. That is the date when Jim Cramer first recommended Nvidia on Mad Money. In 2010, the year I started at this network, CEO Jensen Huang had his first interview on that show. And June 20th, 2017, that is when Jim Cramer was all in on Nvidia stock, even naming his dog Nvidia. Nvidia stock now up more than 4,600% since then. So if you had invested a little more than $20,000 that day, you'd have $1 million from just that now. Nvidia has minted many millionaires over those years, and some of them were present at Jim's investing club meeting with Jensen Huang earlier today. Joining us now is Mad Money host Jim Cramer. He's also got a new book out. I'm going to hold it up right next to my face here, called How to Make Money in Any Market. I like how I have the A's, the green and the red, pointing up, pointing down. Jim, great to have you here.
Oh, great to be here.
Overtime. So tell us, what did Jensen come into your club meeting?
He wanted to meet people who had done well. And he wanted, let me just give you, I'll work backwards. We're all done. I say, I know he's got $1 million to go. He says, no, we want pictures. And so we were going to do a giant group picture. He said, no, that's not enough. I want individual pictures. I want pictures row after row. So we did that. He is different. You know he's different. You did that fantastic interview when he got the big deal. Of course, then subsequently have an AMD deal we can talk about. But he's a gracious, terrific person, and he just wanted to thank people for owning it and not trading it.
You've also said that about Apple, Jim,
True.
but you don't give advice based on how nice the CEO is.
No, that's true.
Right? And you talk about that in the book, how you don't get attached to management. You react to what the stock is actually telling you.
Right.
What was special about Nvidia? What's your advice on how to identify some of these breakout names that are going to be a covering for some of the mistakes that every investor makes?
Well, a lot of times what you want to do is you want to gauge the perception versus the misperception. For instance, I thought that Nvidia was a gaming chip company, and then I went to the Audi showroom, this now, I don't know, 12 years ago, and I saw these technological marvels. And I started badgering the guy who ran North America out. I said, well, whose technology is? Oh, it's just technology. I said, no, whose is it? And he said, it's Nvidia. I said, no, that's Nvidia. There must be, I'm sorry. That's a gaming chip company. He goes, actually, no. You should be correct. You've got to be corrected here. It is a company that has tremendous chips that are also in gaming. And that got me thinking, now, wait a second. Here's a company that I regard as being one of the technological marvel auto company, and they are endorsing a company. I'm wrong. And when you start thinking, you say, well, you're wrong, Jim, you're wrong. Dig deeper, dig deeper, dig deeper. And finally, we get to the Mecca. We get to his place, and we see the things that Jensen's working on, and they're insane. I mean, he takes me, my first trip, he says, here's this, I'm training dogs to mechanical dogs, robots, to pick up Jell-O cubes. And I said, well, why? He goes, because when one gets it all the way up, you have to give them a reward. And I'm thinking, well, that doesn't really answer the question, Jensen. He goes, oh, no, it does. Think about it. That's him. I mean, it's very Socratic. He's a Socratic teacher. And you started realizing maybe I'm just in the presence of someone very different who's got a view 20 years ahead. And he would tell you, we spoke about that, the idea it's easier to have a view 20 years ahead than it is to have 2 quarters ahead.
Jim, it's Morgan. First of all, congratulations on the amazing investor club meeting today.
Oh, thank you, Morgan.
And on the book as well. And just given this idea of how to make money in any market, given the fact that AI is dominating the market right now, I wonder how you would categorize this market, especially as we've had a lot of folks on our air who have been debating whether we're inflating another bubble or not.
Well, look, I think that you have to have trust in the actual stock market. Now, you list these people who say it's a bubble, but you want to be in. So don't buy all at once. I mean, the people who bought aggressively at 9:40 this morning are now your enemy. They are trying to figure out what they did wrong. They want to get out before the next billionaire comes on air and says it's a bubble. They are just really bad holders, and that's who's going to dominate some of these stocks for a couple of days because of what happened today. But, Morgan, I always look at it and I say, do you believe in the company? If you don't believe in the company, you just believed in the trajectory of the stock, then you're going to go. You're going to get blown out. Better to be blown out now than be blown out later. But if you actually believed, if you actually read up about, say, what Jensen's doing and realized that, it's a $4 trillion company, that no one thought it could ever be a $1 trillion company, well, then it should take solace in the fact that it did get there and it can go higher. So what I would tell people is, do you know what you own? Because if you don't know what you own, you just think you owned a hot nuclear stock. It may cool for a couple of days, and it'll shake you out. And that's what you need to be worried about, is how badly you're going to take a hit because you didn't know what you bought in the first place.